What's up, guys? David Piatek. Today, I'm going to do a reaction video to a recent video done by the VA talking about home loan denials. So I'm going to break that down, what they're talking about, and give some clarity to the subject because the VA doesn't do mortgages, lenders do. So without further ado, let's break down this video, and I'll also drop it down in the link below. So let's kick off.
When you're getting ready to buy a home, the last thing you want to see is a denial from a lender. You also want to avoid homes that are infested with ghosts.
By the way, the VA does not have a ghost or haunted house requirement or criteria in their VA handbook, which will also be linked below. It is basically the Bible for veterans using the VA loan. Now, it's designed for lenders, so there's a lot of lender jargon that's in there that you're definitely going to have to go, at least play through, but always reach out to a professional. Never deny yourself.
So, what are the most common reasons for being denied? First, application errors. Sometimes a simple mistake, missing or inaccurate information can derail any application. This is something you can fix or try to avoid in the first place.
So let's break that down, application errors and how that happens. So lenders will submit information into their application software, right? So it's as accurate as the information that you give them that they put in the into their software. And there's two types of approvals that really happen, which is an automated underwriting, which is like, hey, they put all the information in, it's accurate, and then it generates an approval. Sometimes, because based on credit or other factors, it may downgrade it, what's called, to a manual underwrite. And I'll also link a video in the description so you can get full clarity on that process. This is why it's so important when you do a pre-approval is that you submit all your documents to the lender, because VA loans primarily look at what's called residual income in combination with debt-to-income ratio based on a number of factors with your credit.
Credit ratings. Make sure you're on top of your credit report for errors or inaccuracies. To err is human, and banks err too, apparently.
So let's talk about the credit requirement. So the VA doesn't have a minimum credit requirement. Lenders have a requirement. So it's an overlay. So when people get denied for a loan, it can be because that lender can't do the VA loan, but you could go out and get a VA home loan. So definitely look around if you get denied. Sometimes the situation warrants that you have to wait a period of time in order to use your VA home loan. That's also outlined in the VA handbook, which again is going to be linked down below.
You can obtain a free copy of your credit report by visiting annualcreditreport.com.
Yeah, that is a great tool actually to go to annualcreditreport.com. I'll also drop that link in the description below. You can check it out once a year, but you should be monitoring your credit on the daily, just because there's identity theft that's out there. And also, I highly encourage you to use a calendar in order to make sure all your payments are set up on time and set up auto pay. But even with auto pay, it still could be missed. Try to make the payment at least a week in advance of the payment due in the event that there's either a hang up with your bank, but that's why you need to constantly be changing that or checking that. And lenders do look at different credit reports than consumers have access to. That's why I typically recommend looking at like a FICO score, because that's going to closely resemble a lender's credit report.
Stability. Lenders want to see reliable earnings, including disability payments, and
So I'm going to quickly touch on that before she goes in. So you don't need to have multiple payments of VA disability in order to use it. You can actually use it like as soon as you have the letter from the VA confirming you're going to receive disability, you can already use that income to qualify. Not only that, you can gross up the income another 25% because it's tax-free. Now, that helps you with debt to income ratio, but that additional gross up is taken away when you factor in residual income. I'll also link a video down below to I did a video on how much you can afford with 100% disability.
A couple years of employment in the same industry.
That's another piece, is that they are saying that a couple years in the industry that for job stability. Listen, the VA loan is extremely flexible. When it comes to job stability, yes, they want to see that, but there's other factors that can go into that. One, if you finish school and you start a job and you have a degree from college, you can already use all that income even though you just started that position. Same thing with military members transitioning out of the service. If you had a MOS, you've got a college degree while going to being in the military, transition to the civilian sector, you can use all that income right away. Even if you don't have a degree, if you have military service, you can correlate it to the new position that you're getting, then you can use all that income right away as well. So there's definitely a lot of pieces to that. And technically, a veteran can be unemployed if their spouse is gainfully employed and still use the VA home loans. There's a lot of pieces to that.
Appraisal issues.
This one's good.
This one is easy to overlook. The application isn't all about you. I know. It's about the home too. There's a difference between an appraisal and a home inspection. VA guaranteed loans require you get an appraisal. That's where they ensure your home meets.
And that's one thing to note, is that other loan products like conventional loans primarily, you can get appraisal waivers. With FHA and government loans, you cannot get that.
Basic property requirements like being safe, sound, and sanitary.
Which I'm also going to link. That's the minimum property requirements is within the handbook.
VA encourages you to get a home inspection too. Remember, you need a front porch railing. I learned that the hard way.
Great acting.
If you get denied, there's still steps you can take.
So want to touch base on the requirement for the appraisal. Now, this is a big stickler for both the veteran community, the real estate community, and the lending community. Not too long ago, the VA came out and said that if the VA, let's say the appraisal is subject to repairs, right? That's the main thing. When you get an appraisal, it comes in at value, meaning what you're purchasing it for, the appraisal comes back at. The other part is it as is, meaning that there's no repairs required per the VA, or is it subject to any type of additional repairs that the VA requires? And I'll tell you, I would say a majority of the loans don't have any repairs that are needed. When they do have them, it's going to be the most common things. One, having fire alarm systems throughout the house, carbon monoxide. It's going to be peeling paint. And then what that lady mentioned, which is the handrail. But you can actually do an escrow holdback, meaning as a buyer, I'm buying a house. The VA says, oh, these couple repairs are needed. I can actually set up what's called an escrow account with that lender and then do the repairs myself after closing, which makes it a huge advantage for veterans in an already tight real estate market, especially with all things that are shifting. And also, don't forget, if there's a dilapidated garage or barn on the property, you can ask your lender to submit a letter to the appraiser to omit those structures from the appraisal so you don't have to fix them. Now, note, any value associated with that will be taken away.
Consult with your lender. Ask them why. They're legally obligated to inform you.
They are, but a lot of times it's general. And what we've seen a lot of, thanks to viewers like yourself, they'll reach out because they got denied or they feel like there's an issue, and there is one. And then we'll look at it and be like, oh, they either did something wrong with the application. They didn't understand your eligibility. They didn't understand what the VA required for a manual underwrite. So definitely reach out to somebody. You can always reach out to us. There's a link down below to be able to get a consultation on your situation.
Why you were denied. Take the time to understand why and remedy the issues. For more information,
Yeah, definitely check out the VA's website on this, the VA home loan stuff. Just remember that they don't do VA home loans, right? They primarily are guaranteeing the VA home loan. So make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe button, catch more content like this, and I'll talk to you soon.